Well, the Roadrunners getting ready to wrap up their season tonight, hosting the Mean Green, but we're joined by the voice of the team, Andy Everett. Andy, I want to look back at the game against Marshall. What challenges do you think they brought that ultimately reflected in that shutout loss?
Well, I think the offense is still struggling, obviously. They've had issues all year long moving the football consistently enough to score touchdowns, and especially if and when they get in the red zone, they didn't get in the red zone enough. But what amazed me about that game is the way the defense played. The game was pretty much in hand in the fourth quarter, and the defense is coming up with goal line stands and playing with unbelievable pride. And that's been the strength of this team all year long, and they don't give a whole lot. Now, sometimes the offense has put them in positions to where they don't have a chance, but for the most part, the defense has been great, and they're making goal line stands basically when the game doesn't matter anymore, and that just kind of shows you what character this team has.
In your opinion, who do you think has really stood out on the defense?
Well, Josiah Tauef is obviously the best player on the team, and he's going to make most of the tackles. C.J. Levine and Daryl Godfrey have been great in the secondary. A new guy this year in Cassius Grady has played really well, and with all the injuries they've had, he's one that's fortunately been healthy. But I think one guy that often gets overlooked is Kevin Strong in the defensive line, because while he may not make the tackle, he makes plays that allow other people to make the tackle, and that's one of the reasons why I'm pretty sure he'll be drafted at some point in the spring and playing on Sundays next year.
Looking on that offensive side of the ball, Bryce Rivers and Jordan Weeks kind of shared time at that quarterback position against Marshall. How do you evaluate their performances?
Well, Jordan's been good, I think, at times this year as a freshman, and he's making freshman errors, especially picking up blitzes and those extra rushers that come in. That'll come with time. I think what everybody likes about Jordan is his size and his measurables. 6'4", 225, can throw it 75 yards in the air. Now he just has to figure out the speed of the game, because it's a lot faster than playing when he did at Wimberley High School. Bryce is more of a passer, so when he's in the game, the threat to have the option with the quarterback running isn't as much. The other team knows that, but he's a good passer when he can throw in rhythm. The thing that's impressed me about Bryce is he's not played all year, and he's been thrust into these last couple of games because everybody else is hurt, and I think they want to save the red shirt now on Jordan Weeks. So it's been pretty good to see him come in and do some things when he didn't do it last year, and he didn't even play for the first 10 games this year.
Yeah, tonight, now they're hosting the University of North Texas in the final game of the season. What challenges do you think the Mean Green will bring tonight?
Well, they have the best quarterback, I think, in the league, or at least one of them in Mason Fine. Just a terrific athlete, can run the football when he has to, will look to throw first. They've got a great running back in Torrey. They've got two wide receivers that are probably going to be playing on Sundays. So they're a good team. This is a rivalry game. People ask, what is UTSA's biggest rival? It's this one. And it started back when they first played in 2013. And UTSA wasn't supposed to win. They were something like 20-point underdogs and went into Denton and won. And the North Texas team talked trash about it. And it instantly became a rivalry. Now, the coaching staff is completely different. What Seth Luttrell's done there has been fantastic the last few years. They struggled this year in a couple of the conference games, but they did win at Arkansas and beat a Southeastern Conference team on their home field. So they're a good football team, and there'll be a lot of challenges for UTSA to beat them.
You mentioned the strong quarterback in Mason Fine. What's it going to take to shut him down?
Well, you got to get pressure on him, and UTSA's done a pretty good job of that. I think it goes back for the defense to have success, the offense has to have success. UTSA has been on the minus side of the time of possession. And when you're playing 30 or 40 more plays than your offense is, and you're on the field for 7 or 8 more minutes, that's a recipe for disaster. So if the offense can just maintain possession, and even if they don't score, stay on the field enough to where North Texas can't score, UTSA may be able to get a low-scoring win.
Well, Andy, thank you so much for joining us. It's a 6 o'clock start at the Alamo Dome for the Roadrunners, their final game of the season. Thank you.
You bet.